grab your jacket, get or keys, find that record you please. It's Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show. Go, Johnny G, go. Find that rare one you never know at Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live on this Sunday evening, May 3rd, 2026, the continuation of the Saturday get-together here on a Sunday evening on YouTube. It's the only place you can see it. And I want to welcome you to the 50s and early 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. We play your requests here. I have a collector corner record of the of Sunday, we'll call it. I think trying to, well, there's a couple here tonight, so I don't really even know how to, I don't know, I got to think about it a little bit. But anyway, we always play rare records here on the program, and it's actually a cool way to, you know, you can see the records and you hear my babbling on and whatnot, so it's a fun place to be. So I want to thank everybody for tuning into the program this evening. We opened up tonight actually from April 1957. Kind of reminded me, remember a cartoon called Top Cat? I thought that was I think it was called Top Cat. That was a cool cool cartoon with all the cats in the alley, and I forget the head cat on there. But kind of remind me of this song here that we opened up with a 23-year-old tenor saxophonist from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and his studio band assembled by Herb Zane. Now, Herb Zane was I think it was a recent position that he got. He was the A&R man for Herman Pollock's Arrow Records, which I think they just relocated from Bridgeport, Connecticut to New York City. And the group is called, and nobody can really find his, Sam, if you have any info on this, would be interesting, Bobby Bunny and the Jackrabbits. Bobby Bunny and the Jackrabbits. Is that going to get some airplay? I don't know, but the instrumental is pretty cool. Okay, it's their only release. A tune written by Herb Zane and Al Schubert. This did chart, too. This charted number 3 on KRMD in Shreveport, Louisiana. If if you heard it, April 1957, Bobby Bunny and the Jackrabbits, Scatty Cat. It's the name of the tune on the Arrow record label. There's some cool records on the Arrow record label. But anyway, I am the top cat here. Who said that? Lee the G. Yeah, top cat. Well, Johnny G is the top cat here on a Sunday evening right here on YouTube. So thank you all for that. We had a big show last night. We're going to continue with it tonight. And let's open up with a request here as we open up from 1958. This is a request for Bob Cruz in Maryland. Okay. And this is on one of Devorah Brown's labels. Of course, you know, she was the owner of the Fortune label, which we listened to last night. And she also owned the High Q record label. Some great records on that label also. But this group is out of Toledo, Ohio. Okay, and it's the group's only release. Okay, they recorded this in... wait a minute. Okay, so this actually comes out 2 ways. So initially, okay, the first release of this came out in August of 1958 as the Gardenias, and then I guess it was repressed the following month in September of 58 as the Tempos. So I took whatever Bob sent me as the request, so we took the first press, which I ended up having. So that's how it goes there. This group is called the Gardenias. It features Johnny Gibson on piano, and the lead singer on this is Jimmy Pirtle. Jimmy Pirtle from August 1958. Let's open up with the Gardenias on High Q Records. The song is called... and I'm not doing this, folks. It's called I'm Laughing at You. This is going out to Bob Cruz. Here you go, the vocal opener.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You started laughing when I told you I love you. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You said your love was true, but I'm laughing at you. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You had your winning spree, and now you say you want me. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You said your love was true, but I'm laughing at you. I know that when you go, you'll come and let me know that you were tired of being a fool. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You said your love was true, but I'm laughing at you.
Well, don't laugh at Johnny G here as I get caught here. I mean, I wish I had an elf here in the studio with me to help me along with this. But I try to say hi to everybody is what I try to do. But anyway, there you go. So don't throw your hips out with that song there. It's a fast one there from August 1958 for Bob Cruz in Maryland. The Gardenias, I have it on. Also have it as the Tempos. I'm Laughing at You is the name of the tune on the High Q record label. That is a Jimmy Pirtle on lead. Then they would have they would have an instrumental after this called, which I do have also, called Shamrock, backed with It's Tough, featuring the piano player on that, Johnny Gibson. Anyway, so there you go. There's our opener from 1958. So let's go to our Collector Corner record of the night here. It's actually the flip side of the 45 I played last week because it's a great two-sided 45. Okay, last week we heard the Haliquins. The Haliquins, a group out of Washington, D.C. on George Goldner's Juanita label. The song was called Haunting Memories, a cool up-tempo. Now, the flip side is an excellent ballad. Again, features Henry Lamont Mont on lead. A rare 45 if you have the original from October 1958. Here are the Haliquins on the Juanita label. It's called Confession of Love. Here you go. Our Collector Corner record of the night.
Is your heart forever beating for my lips to thrill you so well, my darling, my dear one? I must confess. For there are so many, many things you should know about love. My love is a true love, it's real, warm and kind. If your heart does not agree, then you never, never be mine. Well, I can't pretend that it won't hurt me to know that your love is untrue. We both played the game, played it heavily, and to the end, you'll say that we've lost our love. If your heart does not agree, then you never, no, you'll never be mine.
Yeah, I like that record. That is a cool tune, I have to say. Great two-sided 45. It's really hard to get. I never thought I would ever find an original of that 45, but I was lucky that I did. And flip side is called Haunting Memories. This side is called Confession of Love. They're out of Washington, D.C. That's Henry Lamont Mont on lead. From October 1958 on Juanita Records, Confession of Love is the name of the tune. You can get this, so if you want this 45, A and B side, you can get it on the Early Bird label. That's the reissue. It plays pretty, that reissue plays nice, too. I think it's green vinyl, I think I have it on green vinyl, because I never thought I would get this record, ever. Okay, there's a record on Backbeat I'm never going to get either. Maybe one day, you never know. But anyway, there's some records you're just not going to get, okay, even if you have the money to buy it, because you just can't find it. So then when it comes up, you got to be able to go for it. Now, listen, auctions are still hot. I was in an auction today, and it was surprising how and I don't need a lot of things, okay? I really don't. And when a record comes up that I need, and I don't like to buy it on eBay, okay, I don't, for big records, but the condition is off, so I'm so tentative to bid on a big record like that. I just don't like to do it. Now, if the record was nice and clean and I really need it, that's a different story, because I think for a record being clean and unplayed, that is a bonus with that record, okay? When Bill was up here, he was showing me 2 copies of a record, and one was a played copy that he only played a couple times, and one was an unplayed, which I thought was pretty cool. But, Bill has doesn't have as big a collection as I do, but he has, what do they call it? It's not the quantity, it's the quality. Okay, so I mean, I have a lot of records, more than most, but a lot of them are only average records because I run the labels, but sometimes you're going to get a great record in there. So that's how I lucked out on some of these things. Anyway, I'm babbling on, but let us continue here. I also decided to flip over the press from last week on Juanita. We followed this Harlequins up with a gal by the name of India White, okay? And a lot of people really like that record. Tony Barcia posted it all over the place, okay? It was a cool tune. It's a single artist. I wish it had a group, but it did not. But we're going to play, which I think this side here is the push side, okay? This is the A side. It says somebody named Eddie Miller, I think, was the promoter of this record here. But last week, we featured Should I Forgive Him? Okay, came out in December of 1958. So let's give a listen to the flip side here. The writer on this is those 2 names, Charlene Carroll and Moody. Is that how that goes? Yeah. So we don't even know that. I mean, you can sometimes research for the copyright information. Sometimes I have to do that with the kind of get me close to the release dates on some of these records. But anyway, let's flip over that India White tune from December 58. This is the intended A side. This is an up-tempo. India White on Juanita. It's called Happy, I was going to say Feet. Happy Heart is the name of the tune. Here you go. India White.
I've got a happy heart in love. I've got a heart that's brimful of love and devotion, 'cause I'm taking a notion to you. I've got a happy heart, it seems. I've got a heart with a fulfilled dreams, 'cause I've been a dreaming about a dream I'm a seeing come true. Yeah, I've got a heart that's filled with joy, as happy as a kid with a brand new toy. So I'm bouncing along, singing my song of love. I've got a happy heart, it's true. I've got a heart in love with you. Oh, I've got a happy, really slap happy heart. Yeah, I've got a heart that's filled with joy, as happy as a kid with a brand new toy. So I'm bouncing along, singing my song of love. I've got a happy heart, it's true. I've got a heart in love with you. Oh, I've got a happy, really slap happy heart. Yeah, I've got a happy, really slap happy heart.
Okay, folks, there you go. That is the intended A side of that Juanita release. Juanita, I think, excuse me, 104, I think is Juanita 104, October 1958. I'm sorry, December 1958. India White is her name. Happy Heart is the name of the tune. Why am I thinking Happy Feet? Now, isn't Happy Feet the title of that, what's that? The Kents record? the Kent's record on Dome. Isn't it Happy Feet on the flip side? Why am I thinking of that record? I do not have happy feet, I can tell you that much. But anyway, let us continue in 1958. Now, this is up next, another request, this time for Tim Doyle. Tim Doyle in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And I think Larry Neal, you mentioned this record to me about, because Larry's like sending me, I have a record for Larry later in the show here in 1958 block. But these thoughts that come into his head about, he sent me a list of kind of an interesting groups out of Oklahoma City that Larry, I don't think I have. I might have one of those 45s. If you ever want to sell those, you gotta contact me for that. But I know you want your records, but because they sound interesting, they were from all years. But he was in one of his conversations with me, he was talking about this record because the Ripcords covered this tune. Later in 63 maybe, but so many other people have covered this next tune here, and this was one of my aunt's favorite tunes, and it's a request for listener Tim Doyle, the singer on this from Coffeyville, Kansas, and this was his debut single. It came out on Vivian Carter's VJ record label, okay, and it was a song he wrote. His name was Wade Flemons, okay, and he's being backed up by a group here called The Newcomers. I think he did this on Dick Clark's American Bandstand back in the fall of 1958. And this charted number 80 on Billboard, number 58 on Cashbox, and this was a number 11 record on KPHO out of Phoenix, Arizona. Steve, is that your station? Maybe it is. From November 1958, by request for listener Tim Doyle in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Let's give a listen to Wade Flemons and the Newcomers and his debut single. It's called Here I Stand. Here you go, Tim, for you.
Here I stand, all alone in my lonely world, all alone waiting for the girl. Yes, and here I stand. Here I stand, all alone in my world of dreams, all alone with just a memory. Yes, and here I stand. I'm singing la, la, love you so, la, la, don't you know, la, la, don't you know I love you so? You don't know how much I care. You don't know the torch I bear. Yes, but here I stand. Here I stand, underneath the stars above, waiting for you to bring your love. Yes, and here I stand. I'm singing la, la, love you so, la, la, don't you know, la, la, don't you know I love you so? If you need a heart that's true, if you need someone to love you, yes, and here I stand. I'm singing la, ooh,
Okay, there you go. That's Wade Flemons and the Newcomers is the name of the group there. That one is his debut single, came out on the VJ record label November 1958. And get the promos play better than the stock copies unless you get a West Coast press because some why this darn cough on me. I apologize with the cough here. I had the windows open today and it was windy here in the New York area, but it was a nice day. It was kind of cool. But anyway, so there you go. Wade Flemings, of course, he would go on with other releases on the VJ label, and even later, a big soul record he has. I forget the label in the mid 1960s, but he also has some cool later 60s releases on the VJ label. That's his first one. Here I Stand is the name of the tune. That one there going out to Tim Doyle. Let us continue now. Many of you are going to know this next tune. This is a request for listener Ben Warfield. This singer, born James Walker on August 13th, 1921 in Helena, Arkansas. But of course, he's better known by his stage name, which was Jimmy McCracklin. He's a pianist, also songwriter, and mainly really a blues singer. But later on in the later 1950s, he got into kind of like with some crossover records into the pop field, and this was one of them. But his career spanned 7 decades, beginning in 1945, writing almost 1,000 songs. That's a lot of songs, folks. But he recorded over 100 tunes, and he had 30 LPs. So leave a lot of space in your LP box. I don't even know. I think I have one of his LPs. But let me see. His 45 started in 1951 with Springtime Records, but he recorded for many different labels during his career: Peacock, Modern, Premium, Irma, Mercury. And in the 1960s on High and Chess and Art Tone, Imperial, lots of blues releases too, some with groups, without groups. But this one's on Leonard Chess's Checker label. This is his first of 2 on the Checker label. It's a song he wrote, and this was a big hit for him. This was number 7 on the Billboard chart, number 5 on the Billboard R&B chart from January 1958, by request for Ben Warfield, Mr. Jimmy McCracklin, and we're going to dance this. It's called The Walk. Here you go, Ben, for you, Jimmy McCracklin.
You can do, you just walk, you just walk, oh you walk, yes you walk, yeah you walk, and that's the walk. Well I know you heard of the Texas hop, I know you heard of the old foxtrot, but when you do the walk, you ride in style, you just shake your hips and close your eyes, and then you walk. Yeah, you walk. Then you walk. Oh, you walk. Oh, you walk. Yes, you walk. Do the walk, and I know you heard of the old Congo. But when you do the walk, you stand in close and don't step on your partner's toes. You just walk. Yeah, you walk. You walk. Yes, you walk. Oh, you walk. That's the walk. Now, if you don't know what it's all about, come to me and I'll show you how. We'll do it fast, or we'll do it slow, then you'll know the walk everywhere you go. You then walk, and you walk, Keep on walking. That's the walk. That's the walk. That's the walk.
Yeah, hits here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there going out to Ben Warfield, January 1958. Jimmy McCracklin on the Checker label, The Walk. Now, I was going through my M boxes. Well, actually, my mother pulled out all the Checker 45s. So with this record, I'm like, everything I have here is a styrene. I found one vinyl press, because the styrenes have like a, at least when I played them, they had like some kind of hum sound to it. That was not that much on that one, but I'll take a vinyl press over styrene any day of the week. But there you go, Jimmy McCracklin with a song called The Walk. I'm sure many of you have heard that tune before. Let us continue now. It's in 1958. This is a bonus track by Johnny G. Let me see. There are lots of groups that go by this name, okay? They're called the Inspirations, this group. Let me see here. Lot of inspirations. This inspiration group are members, or some members of a group out of Pittsburgh, California, known as the Marcells, who recorded for Don Barksdale's Jody label. I have that 45 too. That's a rare record to play here on the program. But they revamped that group, I guess, and they recorded this one on Eddie and Leo Mesner's Lamp Records, a subsidiary of Aladdin, of course, out of Beverly Hills, California. Now, the group members on this were Carlton Brown, Cedric Wilson, Jerry Jackson, and Don Stevens. And this was their only release. This is with Fat Gaines and his band. Okay. And I had a whipped copy of this record. I was able to find a nice, it's a styrene press, but what are you going to do? But that's what's happening, because around this time in 58, Aladdin and their subsidiaries went to styrene. April 1958, this is a bonus track. The Inspirations on Lamp Records, and the song is called Don't Cry. Here you go, a bonus.
Oh no, when I said goodnight, I didn't mean goodbye. Oh no, I didn't mean it that way. When I left you to stay, so little girl, cry. Please don't cry.
Yeah, bonus tracks here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. James Stone in the chat room there. Which label is that? I got some 45s by Lou Kaz in my collection. I had somebody request one time a bunch of his releases. But what label? Clock? VJ? I forget. But anyway, there you go. That's a bonus track. You know, that sounds like another record. I'm trying to place it, and I just can't do it. But anyway, they're called the Inspirations. There's chicks in that group too, folks. April 1958 on the Lamp label out of California. Don't Cry is the name of the tune. No tears here in the Vinyl Treasure Show, only happiness. Maybe some of the memories might not be good, but hopefully, you know, music is a memory for Johnny G, and that's what we do here. We try to keep this music alive. So if you're new to this program, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. We picked up, I think, 11 or 12 subscribers last night. That's always great. It keeps away the copyright police. They weren't out on that Jimmy McCracklin record. It's too early in the program. Once I go into 2.5 hours, then the AI comes after me. But let us continue here. Now, when Bill Old was here, with his special last Thursday, which is pulling gangbusters, Bill, of so many accolades, Bill, that you're getting on your special that you did here, your special guest spot. And Bill will be back later this month here on a Thursday afternoon. So he played a budget LP, and the song was "Get a Job." We don't know who the artist was. And maybe that prompted Larry Neal to think of the song "Get a Job," because, of course, the big hit of that was by the Silhouettes on the Ember record label. Came out in late December, November of 57, but Dick Clark pushed it into 58, and he made it a big hit. Now, the interesting thing Larry mentioned to me about that the Mills Brothers covered this tune. Now, why on earth would the Mills Brothers decide to do this record? Because how old were the Silhouettes? They were, maybe they weren't teenagers, but they were either their early 20s possibly. Why would the Mills Brothers, who were up there in age, do the song? I don't know. But anyway, we're going to play this for Larry's suggestion here. Get a Job. This group, of course, out of Ohio. I mean, they go back to 1922. I mean, I guess they were grandfathers by this time, by January of 1958. But anyway, this is on Randy Wood's Dot record label. This is with Milton Rogers and his orchestra from January 58. Let's give a listen to the Mills Brothers. Thank you there. Senate, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Senate, thank you. Let's give a listen to the Mills Brothers on the Dot record label, suggested by Larry Neal and their rendition of the tune, "Get a Job." Here you go.
Yip 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 boom sha la 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 ba doom sha la 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 ba doom sha la 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 ba doom sha la la yip 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 boom 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 get a job sha la la la. Every morning about this time she gets me out of my bed and fire for a job. After breakfast every day she throws a warning past my way. Never say. Get a job, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Yip, 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 boom, 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 get a job, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Well, when I get the papers, I read it through and through, and my girl never fails to say, if there is any work for me, crying, tell me that I'm lying by the job that I never could find. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Yip, 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 boom, 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 get a job. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Well, when I get the papers, I read it through and through, and my girl never fails to say, if there is any work for me, I better get back to the house, hear that woman's mouth, preaching and crying, tell me that I'm lying by the job that I never could find. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, ba-doom, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Yip, 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 boom, 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 get a job. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, good job, get a job, good job.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyltreasure Show, suggested by Larry Neal in our YouTube chat room, January 1958. The Mills Brothers there on Randy Wood's Dot record doing the Silhouettes tune, Get a Job. That must have prompted Barbara Moreau to comment in Johnny G's chat room. We got to say hello to my sweetie Barbara Moreau in our chat room there. So welcome to the program, Barbara. She's all excited. We're talking this evening because she's a little bit nervous. She's going to be doing her first, I don't know, we'll call it exhibit, because Barbara likes to work with mosaic. She's become very good with the mosaic art, and she's very creative when it comes to that. But she will be doing she will be presenting her wares at the Hudson River Spring Festival at Winrose on Hudson on May 9th and 10th. You can check that out. That's in Ossining, New York. If you're around, you can go there. It is a 2-day festival of arts and crafts. I'm trying to read this here. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of things you can do, but she's kind of a little bit nervous about that. So mark your calendars. Those of you that are in the New York area, you can check it out. It's stop at the Winrose Hotel in Ossining for the Spring Crafts Festival, and she'll be exhibiting her mosaic pieces. And it's her first show, so she's kind of nervous about that, folks. And she wants everybody to stop by and say hello. So we'll do that. Barbara will we'll give me a mosaic here to put in the back. We'll show all the listeners how talented you are with that. But anyway, so and welcome to the chat room. Barbara's in the chat room there. So as she is nervous, don't be nervous. If anybody should be nervous, it's me, not you. Anyway, my listeners, tell Barbara not to be nervous. Anyway, but thank you for being here, Barbara. Let's continue here on the Vinyltreasure Show, and let's fill a request for David Milfred in our YouTube chat room. This is a B-side request for David. He requests all the rare 45s out of my collection, and we played the flip side of this group out of Oakland, California on John Forney's Melotone label. Last week we heard the side called Teardrops. David asked for the flip side this evening. Okay, the group is called the Markeets, Markeets. The lead singer on this is Freddie Hughes. The other members here were Butch Newton, George Aubrey, and Robert Shands, the bass, and this is with the Leon Ross Band from July 1959. We're in the 1959 block. Here are the Markeets on Melotone for David Milfred, and the song is called Baby Please. Here you go, David, for you.
Baby, please don't leave me.
way. Whoa, baby, don't leave me this way. Oh yeah, oh baby, I believe I'll get on my knees and pray. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. No, I need you so bad. Whoa, girl. No, I love you so. Still my little baby, and I'll never let you go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Please don't leave me now. Oh baby, don't leave me this way.
Sounds of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there going out to David I'm sorry, I lost my place here. David Milfred, the sound of the Marquettes, the July 1959. That's on the Mellatone record label. I think it's out of Oakland, California. Baby Please is the name of the tune. Please, please consider subscribing to Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show and give me a thumbs up, if you will. That keeps the AI police away from the program. It does. Tell your friends about this program. Share it if you can. And let us continue here. Got a now, the next two records. Remember I asked my listeners about if they knew of a 45 that had the names of girls on both sides of the record. Well, it's not this one, but it's going to lead into one like that someone did, and I had it, and I didn't know that I had it. But anyway, this is a bonus hit, or I should say a bonus track. I don't think it was a hit. Maybe it was in Connecticut. This group is out of New Britain, Connecticut, and this is on the MZ label. Was this Marty Kugel's label and somebody else? I don't know. Where's Mike Sape when you need him? But this label is out of Middletown, Connecticut. That's where I used to drive up. I did my first, and talking about Barbara being scared, I was scared when I did my first guest spot. It was out of Wesleyan College. I forget the call letters, but Al Bernard, who retired from the show at, what was it, end of last year or earlier this year, possibly. I think it was earlier this year. He did his last show. He can't do it anymore, unfortunately. But he said, Johnny G, why don't you do a guest spot on my show? So I went up there. I brought my records. And I was like, are these good turntables? And I think he changed the needles or whatever. So I did do that. I said, don't back cue my styrene 45s. Don't do it. He was doing some of the other ones, but I said, all right. But I don't want to do that. But anyway, this label is out of Middletown, Connecticut. Actually, I'm sorry. She's got it here. MZ stands for Mickey Marconi and Frank Zenobi. So there you go. I thought it was Marty Kugel. It's not. Thank you, Charlene, for that. Mickey is actually playing guitar on this session, which is pretty cool. And the lead singer on this, his name is Rich Crisatello, who I think I met at the Waterbury, Connecticut show when he was trying to sell, way back when, they put out an unreleased thing on this kind of like a revised MZ label. Anyway, let's go to late 1959. This is a bonus 45. Here are the Crystal Tones. The Crystal Tones on MZ Records, and they're singing about their girl, Deborah Lee. Here you go, a bonus tune.
Deborah Lee, you're the girl for me, and I know you'll always be, yes, the one for me. You're the girl with the brown, brown eyes, and I know they never, ever, 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 ever told me any lies. You're the girl with the brown, brown hair, and I know you'll always be, yes, you'll always be there. Oh, my Deborah Lee, why don't you let me free? You know how much I love you. Why don't you love me? Well, Deborah, Deborah Lee, oh, yeah, yeah,
There you go with a bonus track there, late 1959. That's on the MZ record label. The group out of New Britain, Connecticut. They're called the Crystal Tones. The Crystal Tones, featuring Rich Crisitello. He's the lead singer on that with their tune called Deborah Lee. And the flip side is actually a great ballad they do, Girl. I forget the name, but it starts with Girl. But again, we just heard a song about Deborah Lee. How about a song about Debbie Jean? Okay, and this is a request for David Fields. Okay, and let's see, this singer born in Boonesville, Mississippi, but he would relocate to Louisville, Kentucky. And David Fields is like an expert, as well as Big Dave Swinger, of groups and artists out of the Louisville, Kentucky area. So he sent me a whole bunch there, and I don't have a lot of them, but I have some to pick from to feature here on the program. And he does have also a YouTube site, too, that you can check out. He puts all the records there that are from the Louisville area. Now, this singer would move to Louisville, Kentucky. His real name is Gerald D. Cox, but he recorded as Jerry Cox. Now, this is the group's debut single, came out on Jack Sanders' Frantic label. The Frantic label is out of Shreveport, Louisiana. The tune written by Jack Sanderers, Tommy Kirk, and the lead singer on this, Jerry Cox, who also recorded for the Buzz label and also Bright Star Records. But anyway, let's fill a request for listener David Fields, January 1959 release for Jerry Cox with the Cavaliers on Frantic Records. And let's give a listen to Debbie Jean. Here you go, David, for you.
Baby Jean, break my heart on a string. If you go, then you break my heart in two. Why did you go away? Why did you break my heart? If you come back, I promise to be true, to love, honor, and obey. Baby Jean, I'm on my knees. Please come back to me. Let's start anew. If you do, then I'll give my heart to
Okay, there you go. That one there by request for David Fields. That's the sound of Jerry Cox. Let me, John G, get on the camera here. Jerry Cox with the Cavaliers from January 1959. This is on the Frantic label. I mean, you can bear, I mean, this is like, well, listen, my cataracts are bad enough, hard enough to see this thing. But the song is called Debbie Jean. And the flip side, well, somebody mentioned it in the chat room. Well, you know, I played the Prodigals, Marcia and Judy. And then, of course, there was the Schoolboys, which was Mary and Shirley. Well, this is Debbie Jean and another girl's name, Sherry. Okay, is the flip side of that. But anyway, there you go. So I'm sure there's more. There's more here. Johnny G coughing here. You're listening to the Vinyl Treasure Show. This is actually, for this week, it's our fourth show of the week. I had an in-studio guest here on Thursday afternoon, Mr. Bill Obe from New Jersey, doing his, well, that was like a cool thing, Bill, if you got together with all your friends to do that and play records like that. We had a big audience now. So it was more than just friends here, but he will be back here. But this is the fourth show this week. I was here last night, beginning at 9 p.m. We kind of started off this 50s thing that I do because I play the records by year. Most of the people that do oldie shows like this, they just play songs randomly. But I try to, you kind of see how the music had evolved, and we opened up with Dinah Washington from 1950 yesterday. So you can go back and check it out on the archive. And then we ended with 57. We started with 58, although the intro was from 57. But let us continue here. Let's fill a request now for Graylin, a.k.a. G-Dog, in our YouTube chat room. Now, in 1959, the Moonglows, the Moonglows, a recorder for Chess Records, were on the verge of breaking up. Harvey Fuqua, one of the original members of the group, was exploring other avenues in the record business. Bobby Lester was involved with narcotics, unfortunately, and the group's final live performance was held on January 9th of 1959. That was at the Apollo Theater in New York City. Harvey continued, though, to record with new members as the Moonglows, which I think Marvin Gaye might have been one of those, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. I don't know. They added a young Marvin Gaye to the group and put out the song 12 Months of the Year, which is a cool record, too, by the way. That was on Chess. But Graylin requested the flip side of the 45, which was an old master that was recorded in December of 1957 with the original Moonglows. So this is not Harvey and his new Moonglows. This is the original Moonglows on this side. So Chess decided to release it, though, just as Harvey. Okay, that's what they did. They said, well, they're broken up now. And this was lip-synced in an Alan Freed movie I don't know, Arch, did you see the Alan Freed movie after Bill was advertising that other movie? Okay, the movie Go, Johnny, Go. If you saw that movie, I think, Arch, you did. You saw Harvey lip sync this in that movie. Anyway, let's go to April of 1959 by request for Graylin in our YouTube chat room. Here is Harvey Fuqua on lead, but it's really the Moonglows on the chess label. It's called Don't Be Afraid to Sell at the Fair. No, Don't Be Afraid to Love is the name of the tune. Here you go, Graylin, for you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Love you more and more every time you say that we are through and you go away for a day or two. 20 and a 30 and a 40 and a 50 and a 60 seconds a minute, I'm thinking of you. If you love me like I love you, what a merry, merry world this would be to me. What a merry, merry world this would be. Oh, love me like you mean it. Love is something you shouldn't miss, shouldn't miss. The way it looks to me like you don't even know how to get ready for a kiss. Gosh, oh my golly, by really good. I wish you wouldn't treat me oh so doggone cold. Come close to me cause I want you to see. And don't be afraid if you get a funny feeling, darling. Don't be afraid to love. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Love you. Wop, wop, wop. 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 seconds a minute, I'm thinking. Wop, 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 wop. Love me like you mean it. Love is something you shouldn't miss, shouldn't miss. The way it looks to me like you don't even know how to get ready for a kiss. Gosh, oh my golly gee, why will you? I wish you wouldn't treat me oh so doggone cold. Come close to me cause I want you to see. And don't be afraid if you get a funny feeling, darling. Don't be afraid to love. Oh no, darling, don't be afraid to love.
There you go. That one there going out to Graylin, a.k.a. G-Dog, in our YouTube chat room. Those are really the Moonglows, but it's just, it says Harvey, because Harvey Fuqua is the lead singer on that April 59 release, although that was recorded in December of 1957 on the chess record label. Don't Be Afraid to Love is the name of the tune. That was in the movie Go, Johnny, Go. Anyway, let us continue here on the Vinyltreasure Show. We are in the 1959 block. This great group out of actually, were they out of Philadelphia? I think they were. Definitely the label originated out of Philadelphia originally. I'm going to say they were. But evidently George Goldner pressed these up and distributed the Casino record label. And the group, actually, they're from Queens. I take it back. The group is from Queens, New York, Johnny. They had 2 releases on the Casino label. You know their first, we played it here on the program. The song was called Trickle, 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 Trickle. And the flip side is a killer ballad, okay, called Moonglow, You Know. Okay, but then that was July of 1958. They followed it up with this tune. Shooby Dooby Dooby Cha 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 was the intended A side of the 45, but we're going to play the ballad side tonight. Okay, written by the lead singer. Well, no, not this side. Ronald Cussey does not write this side, Charlie. Clarence Bassett writes this side, not Ronald Cussey. Anyway, you got to fix that. This is from January of 1959, okay? And I know that Bill Sheriff likes this song. You like this record, right, Bill? I thought you said you did. But we'll send it out to you anyway if you do. Here are the videos on Casino Records, and they're not calling this a question. I guess they're just asking you, is it love or infatuation? Here are the videos from January 59 on Casino. Here you go.
What makes my head go round in circles? What makes me hang my head and cry? Is it love or infatuation? What makes me feel the way I do? Why must I always try to hide it? What makes me hang my head and cry? Is it love or infatuation? What makes me feel the way I do? I go around in a daze all day, not knowing just what to do. When all at once the moon came out, it's simply because I love you. Why must I always try to hide it? What makes me hang my head and cry? Is it love or infatuation? What makes me feel the way I do? What makes me feel the way I do?
We'll say B-sides here on the Vinyltreasure show. There you go, the sound of the videos. The videos on the Casino record label, January 1959. Love or Infatuation is the name of the tune. I think Bim Bam Boom would get the rights to that and put that out on, because I had this on Bim. I couldn't find this record for a long time. Okay, then I ended up getting I guess it was a nice VG. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty nice. And then I ended up getting like a mint record. I forget who. Might have been Spence or whatever, because I rarely upgraded for many years. It was later on, but because Greg would always upgrade, and of course his seconds I would end up getting, and some of them I'm going, you upgraded this record? You got to be kidding me. Why would you do this? Well, you got to get an unplayed copy. I said, really? I said, it's not that easy to get unplayed copies. Anyway, let us continue. This is an unplayed copy, though, because I bought this next 45 from Louis Silvani, and there was some quantity on this record. At least Louis had the quantity on it, but this is a request for listener Timothy in our YouTube chat room. This is a group of brothers from Washington, D.C. They were Andy Horace, Warren Amos, and Adolphus Scott. Okay, they were known as the Scott Brothers, okay? And this is their first of two that came out on Jerry Field's Skyline label. So there was some quantity on this, I think, at one time. But it's from May of 1959 by request for Timothy. The Scott Brothers on Skyline. It's called Part of You. Here you go, Timothy, for you, the Scott Brothers.
Send me your picture, the one you threw away, one of your earrings you used to wear each day. Anything, long as it's part of you. Send me a recipe of the thing you used to cook. Send me your bracelet or your worn-out school book. Anything, long as it's part of you. Send me a letter, say I'm your fella. C.O.D. plus the post. Please don't worry about, tell her to send some more to the one who loves her well. And in the letter, tell me, dear, that you'll be true. You will love me, and we can start anew. Anything, long as it's part of you. Send me a letter, say I'm your fella. C.O.D. plus the post. Please don't worry about, tell her to send some more to the one who loves her well. And in that letter, tell me that you'll be true. You will love me, and we can start anew. Anything, long as it's part of you.
Okay, there you go. They like that tune there in the YouTube chat room. That's the sound of the Scott Brothers. The Scott Brothers there. It's a cool up-tempo tune. That was when I was when I first started collecting. I didn't know any of these records. Of course, I used to listen to the collector shows. Here in the New York area, we used to have a lot of collector shows, WHBI, WFUV, WCBS FM, Norman Knight was on. There was a Night Train show. So they would play all these records. Of course, it was trying to find them, and there were a lot of record stores down in areas of New York City and the suburbs down there. There were not many record stores up by here. You can buy the new stuff that was coming out, but they rarely had new things. There was somebody in White Plains had a record store. I forget his name, whatever. And Louis was down in the Bronx. He ended up in Dobbs Ferry for a little bit until they raised the rent or whatever, and he stopped. But I didn't know a lot of these songs, so they only became popular by listen. I'm trying to make them popular. Gus Gossard did a great job doing that, but really it wasn't Gus Gossard. He just liked the songs. It was the people around him that brought him those records that became, and they're the ones that had the ear for the stuff. But anyway, I hope I have the ear for the stuff. I don't know. But let us continue here. This is a bonus track here as we go to Philadelphia. So one of the guys I used to buy from was, I haven't heard from Ted Artkowski in a long, long time. But I don't know, somehow he got in touch with me, or he had an auction or whatever. And then he would call me. And we would talk on the phone for a long time. A lot of the other dealers and collectors would converse with me all these wee hours. Of Jerry Diaz would call me at 3 a.m. in the morning to talk. I said, Jerry, you know what time it is? I mean, it's not that late where you are, but it's late here in New York. But he would say, Johnny, you got any Pittsburgh records? I said, Pittsburgh records, like big hits. Well, Porky Chedwick, they play all these cool tunes out of Pittsburgh. And told me this was one of the records I think that they said was really big in the Pittsburgh area. So then he sent me these lists of the top records out of Pittsburgh. They used to have a convention there, and he would talk to Fred Bond quite a bit, and he was selling out his record collection as well. It took him a long time to do that. But I haven't heard from him in a long, long time, so I hope he's doing okay. We used to talk a lot, Ted, if you're tuned into the program here. But he's the one that kind of told me about this record as we go to Philadelphia now. This is on Hal Norton and William Goldstein's Norgold record label. Norgold was known for the Revels that came out later, like you may know Midnight Stroll or Dead Man's Stroll. That was, I think, probably one of the bigger hits on the label, but not this one. Okay, this group named after a popular shoe style. So tell me, how many out there have Daytons? Have you worn do they have a size 15? I wear a size 15. So if they have a size 15 Dayton, maybe I should buy them. I don't know. But it's a cool record here. Okay, it features Salome Bay on lead from 1959. This is a bonus tune. The Daytons on Norgold Records. The tune is called King of Broken Hearts. Here's a bonus track, folks. It's a hard record. It is. Here you go. Okay, folks, there you go. Bonus tracks here on the Johnny G's Vinyltreasure show. That's the sound of the Daytons. The Daytons with their... I wonder if they wore the Dayton shoes. It would be interesting to see that group perform this tune. That's the B-side of the 45, though. 1959 on Norgold Records. King of Broken Hearts. I'm not the king of that, folks. No, I am not. As we continue here on a Sunday evening, it's the Vinyltreasure show, our fourth show of the week. I'll be back on Wednesday evening. If you like Soul 45, soul records out of my collection, tune in on Wednesday beginning at 9 p.m. and 9 to midnight. If you want to make a request for a future Vinyltreasure show, please email me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. That is the best way. I don't have every soul. I might have more group records, okay, and 50s stuff and early 60s stuff than I do as the soul, but I do have a lot of soul records in the collection that I have picked up through the years. I'm an old collector. We need young collectors like Evan Blatt, and, well, we're not going to say that a Big Dave Swinger, you're also considered a young collector. Anybody that is younger than me is considered a younger collector, I have to say. But we have a lot of old-time collectors that tune into this program here and have some great collections. They do. But, you know, it takes a long time to accumulate a lot of these records. You can't snap your finger and then all of a sudden have all these records. It just doesn't happen that way. It takes a long time. And many of the collectors that I know have been looking for certain things all their life to try to find certain things. And you should see when they do find it, it's like such a great feeling. If you are a record collector, you will understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, let us continue now. Let's move into 1960 as we fill a request for listener Edmund Williams. He was in the chat room before. I don't know if you're working on Sunday, Edmund, or that's your day off, but he requested this singer born William Edgar John on November 15th, 1937 in Cullendale, Arkansas, but he was raised in Detroit, Michigan, and you may know his sister. Her name was Mabel John, okay, and Edmund requested his 23rd release that came out on Sid Nathan's King record label. Now, this song was first done by John Thomas. Well, it's not, I think it was on another label, Charlene, before ABC Paramount, if you check, because I do have the original of it, but it was ABC Paramount that distributed it nationally back in 1960, and it was a song written by Joe Thomas and Carly Hoyles. But let's give a listen to this rendition. Came out in May of 1960. Mr. Little Willie John and his rendition of the tune Heartbreak, parentheses, It's Hurting Me. Here you go, Edmund, for you, Little Willie John. Cover tunes here on the Vinyltreasure Show. That one there going out to listener Edmund Williams in Queens, New York. The great sound of Little Willie John. They're doing the John Thomas tune from May of 1960. Heartbreak, parentheses, It's Hurting Me. That one there on Sid Nathan's King label out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Lots of releases for Little Willie John. I was looking. I didn't have everything filed. My mother separated all the Kings that were loose. I mean, I gave her the boxes and she thumbed through them and she pulled out certain labels. So I have my Kings now in 4 separate boxes that are not cleaned. So I had to clean that one today. But anyway, we are in the 1960 block. Let's do a flip side request for listener Amnon. Okay, last week we featured the Desires on B. Caslin's Hull label. Now, the Desires were played on New York oldie radio back in the 1970s. So this was a record that was well known to a lot of the oldie collectors here in the New York area, as well as people in the Pennsylvania or Philadelphia area listening to the radio. So they'll know this song. Okay, last week we heard the up-tempo side called Rendezvous with You. Okay, this is the flip here. It features Robert Bootsy White on lead from March of 1960 on Hull Records. Here are the Desires. It's for Amnon. It's called Set Me Free, parentheses, My Darling. Here you go, Amnon, for you, the Desires.
Set me free. Do, do, do. Set me free, my darling. Set me free, my love.
Set me free from you and what you're thinking of. Set me free, my darling. Set me free, my love.
Set me free, my love.
I'm too young to love. Love causes heartache. Love causes pain. Love is only for grown-ups. I don't think I'm quite that grown. So until that time, darling, please don't call me on the phone. Until then, set me free, my darling.
Set me free, my love.
Set me free from you and what you're thinking of. Set me free, my darling. Set me free, my love.
Set me free, my darling. Set me free from love.
Why don't you set me free?
That's March 1960 release there going out to listener Amnon. That's the sound of the Desires. The Desires, their second release on B. Caslin's Hull Records. Set Me Free, parentheses, My Darling. That's Robert Bootsy White on lead for that. And there are 2 records, very popular. Hull would re-release those. They were big sellers in the early 1960s with the revival of the 1960s. That revival right before the Gus Gossard thing in the 70s. That's when I came into the music. And really so many people were kind of like reacquainted with a lot of these records and some rarities too. Anyway, Johnny G here, spinning my 45s. If you are new to this program, please consider subscribing to my YouTube page. This unique, I guess, history of music here. We try to be entertaining and educational and make it an enjoyable experience here. So hopefully it is with you, as hopefully you still come back for more. So I want to thank everybody for that. Thank you for all your correspondence. If you want to make a request on a future Vinyl Treasure show, email Johnny G at vinyltreasures@aol.com. KKSM, they played my, not my last Wednesday show, the Wednesday prior to that. So they played a soul show. I never know what Zeb's going to play, but he also carries this on the KKSM out in, what I think it's like a suburb of San Diego, Palomar, right? I think that's where it is, out of Palomar University. And he puts it on early in the morning out there. He puts it on 6 a.m. Pacific time for 3 hours. They do the, and they cut it out, like they try to make it fit because I babble on too much. Anyway, let us continue here. Let's fill a request now for listener Paul Michel. Now, he requested the Paragons, and this is their final release on Paul Winley's Winley label. By this time, there was some member changes in the group. I forget which person. Well, the lead singer on this is the thing that's different. Supposedly, the lead singer here is Neville Buddy Payne is the lead singer on this. I know that Charlene didn't put the information that Paul sent. He had some information there, the other members and whatnot here, but let's just give it a spin here. This is the intended A side of the 45 from April of 1960, going out to Paul Michel. Here are the Paragons, a great tune on the Winley label. It's called So You Will Know. Here you go, Paul, for you, the Paragons.
All that I have to give to you is my love before. Let me tell you, so you will know, so that you will know. All that I have to offer you, all that I can give is my love before. Let me tell you, so you will know, yes, you know. It's so wonderful to know you love me. It's so wonderful to know you care. And with our two hearts together, we'll be richer than any millionaire. All that I have to say to you, all that I can say is I love you so before. Let me tell you, so you will know, yeah, you'll know before. Let me tell you, so you will know. So you will know.
Yeah, that one there going out to Paul Michel, the great sound of the Paragons there, with a different lead singer there. Neville Buddy Payne is doing lead on that, trying to sound like who? Adam Jackson, maybe. Okay, he's the one with the high voice. But anyway, April 1960, that's their sixth and final release for Paul Winley's Winley record label. So You Will Know is the name of the tune. So You Will Know that Johnny G only plays originals. Sometimes I stretch it a little bit. I don't like to play reproductions. I mean, I'll play a ratio reproduction because the sound quality is good. But you know, I have this studio professionally done, and to make it, and I kind of like wanted it to sound great. So anybody that does come here to the studio, the sound quality, and I hope it sounds good on your end, folks, which you're listening to your earphones. I just hope you're not blowing it out. To have to still work with these controls and whatnot. I don't know what's causing the dropouts. I've tried. Maybe I'm too high on certain things or whatnot on some of these levers. But anyway, so now up next, we're in the 1960 block. We're gonna do a comparison of songs, okay? And I want you to tell me which one of these you like the best. I like them both. Okay, but I favor one side to the other. But we're first going to hear the original version of the song. Okay, and it was the debut single by this gal from Los Angeles, California. I forget, somebody heard her singing in church, and they said, you know, you should record a demo. Okay, and you should have somebody hear this. She goes, but I didn't have any I had no training in singing. Goes, I don't care if you didn't have any singing and training or whatever. So you just sing beautifully, record something, and get in contact with someone. So somehow she got in contact with somebody at the Columbia label. Okay, and I don't know, so she sent them a tape, and they liked her voice, and they said, well, we're going to put out your first record. Okay, and this was her debut single. M. Clayton. Charlene doesn't have who the writer is, but M. Clayton is the writer on this. Okay, so first up, we're going to hear the original version of this tune. There is no group on this, okay, but it's just a great record, and you want the Columbia promo because they play really nice. It came out in August of 1960. Her name is Hannah Dean. Hannah Dean. This is on Columbia, and the song is called So Little Time. Then we're going to follow it up with a group from Nashville, Tennessee, okay, that recorded for the Checker label, Leonard Chess's Checker label, okay, and no other information on this group, okay, but this one came out in December of 1960, and it was a top 30 record, the second one, a top 30 record on KTSA in San Antonio, Texas. So up first is the original by Hannah Dean. We're going to follow it up with a group called the Neptunes, and it came out in December of 1960. So here you go. Up first is Hannah Dean, and then I'll play it consecutively with the Neptunes. Here you go first, Hannah Dean. It's called So Little Time.
Nothing old, nothing new, something borrowed, someone blue. So little time and so much to do. I could spend eternity loving you, but that's not long enough to make my dreams come true. So little time and so much to do. Yeah, 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 you know that I walk the floor, watch the clock, the hands move swiftly, tick-tock, tick-tock. All my love's on the line, my fingers crossed. I wanna know, have I gambled all in much to do, so many things I want to say to you. So little time and so much to do. So much to do. Yeah, and so much to do. So much to do. And so much to do.
Nothing old, nothing new, something borrowed, someone blue. So little time and so much to do. I could spend eternity loving you, but that's not long enough for my dream to come true. So little time and so much to do.
So what did you think, folks? What did you think on those two records? I think they're both pretty cool. You heard the original as done by Hannah Dean. That was her debut single, her first of four on the Columbia record label from August 1960, So Little Time. Followed it up from a December 1960 release by a group called the Neptunes out of Nashville, Tennessee, on the Checker record label with So Little Time. And sometimes, all the time goes on, and you think of all the time and the things that we've done. I mean, I'm 67 looking back on all these things. I mean, I'm happy to still have my parents here with me, as that is really a great thing for Johnny G. And I know many of you wish that was the case, and maybe you still do, but it's like all this time goes by, we lose all these singers, but we try to keep their memories alive, and the musicians that played on all these records and whatnot. Truly amazing. So different from today with all this artificial stuff. This is real, okay? This is real stuff that you hear here. It's not fake. Sometimes you don't even know when it's fake. I'm talking to somebody on the phone. I said, with my company, are you real? And so they said, no, we're an artificial answering service. I said, artificial? I says, I want to speak to a real person, a flesh and blood person is what I say. But anyway, I digress. Let us continue here for a Sunday evening. Thank you all for being here. If you dig what you're hearing, like and subscribe to Johnny G's Vinyltreasure show. That's a big thing to do. Will do, and I'll be back on Wednesday night for more of your requests. as we fill a request now for Gary Hendren in Alabama. Well, you know, Amy King, your blues requests are rubbing off on some of my regular listeners. Amy's a regular listener, but some of my other listeners that send me group harmony things. Well, some of them are big, some of them don't. Listen, different strokes for different folks. Not everybody likes all types of music, okay, but many of you do like the blues here on the Vinyltreasure show. I was looking at some blues 45s. They go for crazy money. They hold their value, they do, because a lot of people like the blues. Okay, they don't like to go through the blues, but they like them. But this is a request for Gary Hendren in Alabama, this blues guitarist born in Good Pine, Louisiana. Okay, his real name was Otis Verns Hicks, but he recorded as Lightning Slim. Recorded in 1954 on J.D. Miller's feature label. Then he would have one on the Ace label, and then he got signed with Ernie Young's Excello Records out of Nashville, Tennessee. How many releases, Charlene, on the Excello record label? Okay. His biggest hit was a song called Rooster Blues. Okay. Gary requested his 15th release. 15 of what? I don't know. This is from January of 1961. We are in the 1961 block. Here is Lightning, not with a G, it's with an N apostrophe. And this is a rough copy. I have lots of his records in my collection, and they were all clean except this one. So this one went under the toothbrush and the sink and the mild dishwashing liquid to clean it out, then through the spin clean twice. Well, listen, it's really a VG copy here. The Lightning Slim on Excello going out to Gary Hendren in Alabama. It's called Somebody Knockin'. Here you go, Gary, for you, Lightning Slim.
Oh, there's somebody calling. Oh, calling you every night. Oh, there's somebody calling. Oh, they calling you late at night. Well, I don't mind them calling. Well, girl, you know that ain't right. Well, there's somebody knocking. Oh, they're knocking at my door. Oh, there's somebody knocking. Well, they're knocking at my door. Well, they got me so worried. Well, I just can't stay here no more. All right. Oh, that church bell toning. Well, you know somebody gone. Well, that church bell toning. Well, you know somebody gone. place to be moving. Well, if you don't leave my
Yeah, we got the we got the blues here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there going out to Gary Hendren in Alabama. That is Lightning Slim, his 15th of 30. Thank you, Big Dave. 15th of 30 on the Ernie Young's Excello record label, a song entitled Somebody Knockin' from January 1961. Wouldn't you know, that's my worst condition Lightning Slim record. Of course, he recorded for, I got a lot on the Herald label also. He was that Lightning Hopkins? I'm getting my lightnings mixed up here. Johnny G here. Sometimes, I don't get enough sleep. I kind of get like 4 or 5 hours. Last night I got to bed late. I was looking at records in an auction. I was listening to them and marketing down. I'm like, holy crap, it's almost 5 a.m. here. I got to get up. I got to make breakfast for my father and whatnot. So it was just too late. But anyway, I digress. We are in the 1961 block. Let's fill a request for listener Delwood Jeff. These are my 2 worst condition records for the night. Most of the stuff that you heard sounded really nice, but these don't. Well, I don't know. Maybe it sounds okay on my set, for all I know. But that was a used record. This is used. I bought this from the Count, Bob Ellis. And when I first started collecting, he was a character to deal with at the record shows. But Delwood Jeff requested Lee Andrews. Okay, he was originally, though, from Goldsboro, North Carolina, but he would relocate to Philadelphia at a young age. And, of course, he had great 45s with his group, The Hearts. Okay, but he had a number of solo efforts, and he did 3 for the Philadelphia-based Swan record label. This is his second, that Delwood Jeff requested. The uncredited vocal group backing him up on this release were called the Neons, That was his group, but they're uncredited. They were actually Richard Booker, Richard Mason, Bobby Bell, and Sandra Mingo. They were the Neons. And this tune, written by Van McCoy, wrote this tune. This is with the Frank Slay Orchestra from June 61. Going out to Delwood Jeff. Lee Andrews on Swan. It's called A Night Like This, and it's not in great shape, so excuse the condition, folks. Here you go.
shining so
I guess it plays okay. It's got like even on some of the 45s, well, my aunt was one that she didn't take care of her records, okay? So if they have like even wear, okay, not with all these oddball scratches and whatnot, I guess it's okay. Okay, it doesn't take away from the sound, but not that I was in the beginning of my collecting career, it wasn't that I didn't look at a condition as many of the young collectors buying from Times Square back in the day didn't care for condition. Maybe some of them did, okay, and later on upgraded or whatnot, but it wasn't. It was $3 for $1 for the same record in the bin, no matter what it was, VG or Mint or whatever. And maybe some of the critical thinker guys went and said, well, I'm taking the clean one. Why do I want to pay $1 for the VG one when I can get the clean one for $1? That's how you got to look at it. But anyway, there you go. But that's a cool tune there. Lee Andrews and the Uncredited Neons from June of 1961. That's their second of 3 on the Swan record label. A Night Like Tonight is the name of the tune. That's going out to Delwood Jeff, tuned into the program this evening. As we continue here, we are in the 1961 block. Let's fill a request for listener Joseph Smith in our YouTube chat. As many of you know, on the Wednesday night show, we paid tribute to the Ronettes, mainly that all the Ronettes are gone now. And we just lost Nidra Talley. She was the last surviving member of the Ronettes. She is now gone. And they're all gone. Ronnie Bennett, Ronnie Spector, her sister Estelle Bennett, and now Nidra Talley. They're all gone. And this is a request for listener Joseph Smith, a.k.a. Oldies Fan, in our YouTube chat room. Now, the Ronettes first recorded as Ronnie and the Relatives, okay, and their first release came out on the Colpix record label, a song called I Want a Boy. That was their first release. Now, Joseph requested their second release, and it's on the Colpix distributed this label, May Records. So kind of like a subsidiary of that. And this features a young Ronnie Bennett on lead. And this is not an easy record to find. I think this is one of the harder ones to find if you collect the Ronettes. From October 1961, going out to Oldies Fan, a.k.a. Joseph Smith, in our YouTube chat room. Here are Ronnie and the Relatives, Ronnie Bennett on lead. It's called My Guiding Angel on the May label. Here you go. Joe, for you, Ronnie and the Relatives.
My guiding angel, up above, I have lost my first love. So tell me now, what am I to do? I'm
That one there going out to Oldies fan, a.k.a. Joseph Smith, in our YouTube chat room. That is early Ronettes. They were known as Ronnie and the Relatives. Ronnie Bennett, a.k.a. Ronnie Spector. She was really Veronica Bennett. Okay, from October 1961, My Guiding Angel is the name of the tune on the May record label. That's a hard record to get, one of the harder ones to get. The Cold Picks, I think, a little bit easier, but that one seems to be a hard one. Let us continue here. I hope you're digging on the tunes here tonight, folks. Those of you new to this program, this is it was my fourth show. I normally do 3. I've got to get back to the Thursday shows, but I'm too busy. I'm trying to sort through all these soul records and all the other records down in the basement. So I want to get back to it, because really this is the only time I get to play my records, really, this time. And now that I'm able to interject some of my bonus tracks, you get to hear some cool records out of the collection along with your own requests. As we're going to fill a request now for John Cummins as we go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We've been featuring this group maybe over the last couple of weeks now. This group from Pennsylvania, they were known as the Marcells. They had about 13 releases on the Cold Picks record label, and of course their biggest hit was their first release. You know the song, their rendition of the tune Blue Moon, which was a big #1 record for them, but it prompted Cold Picks to release an LP. So I know L.A. Arch, you got the original LP. I have one here too. I just don't know where it is. It's somewhere buried in the no humidity basement. But they put out an LP. It was called Blue Moon, which had, I think, 9 cuts on it that were never released on a 45. Okay, they were never released on a 45 until later in the 1970s. Collector record dealer Tom Trubosky, who I used to buy from many, many years ago. He's unfortunately no longer with us. Okay, he owned a label called Owl Records, like the hoot owl. Okay, and he released lots of sides that only came out on LPs, like certain things by the Spaniels or certain things by the Monotones or the Cadets. They were only issued on LP. So he said, you know what? I'm going to capitalize on this and put it on some 45s and sell it to my collector friends. And what he would do is for whatever label that they recorded for, he would make the color of the label like the color of their releases. So this one for the Marcells is on the gold label because of the Cold Picks records. If there was one by the Spaniels, it was on maroon for VJ, and if there was one by the Cadets, it was red because of RPM or modern, whatever. So anyway, these sides were only available on LPs, and this is one of them that John Cummins requested. It features Cornelius Harp on lead. This was probably recorded early in their sessions, I would say. And then actually was recorded March of '61, so it's one of their first sessions for Cold Picks Records. So going out to listener John Cummins, here are the Marcells on Owl Records. It's called Crazy Bells. There you go, John, for you, the Marcells.
Just pushed me down. First to go ding and then to go down. What's the matter with you, boy? Can't you hear that call? Crazy bells in my heart. Can't you hear them ringing? Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Bong-bong. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Bong-bong. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Bong-bong. Crazy bells in my heart. There's a girl in my heart, but this girl is not you, not by heart. She can't do what you do, no, no, no. Make bells ring in my heart. If I done you some harm, come on back and I'll do right for all. I can't live without you, not for long. Crazy bells in my heart.
what's the matter with you, boy? Can't you hear that gong? Crazy bells in my heart. Can't you hear them ringing?
Well, we'll call it LP cuts because I probably should have, maybe I should have, well, I wouldn't have been able to find that LP. It's buried somewhere. I do have some listeners that send me LP cuts. They might see the songs, you search for requests on YouTube. You have to be careful, okay, because sometimes they don't tell you if they're originals or not. And sometimes you'll look and if you see a label coming up, and then you see print put over it, that's maybe it's not an original. Maybe it was something that was in the can that somebody put out on a CD and they put it on YouTube. That's what happens. You got to look at a real record. So go to Discogs or something, and if you see the record, and I get requests by many UK listeners for things that are not US presses. I don't collect international presses. I mean, I have a few in the collection that maybe I bought from some of the dealers, but anyway, but normally I don't search out international presses of things. So I will have only US originals, but I do have albums. I got to work on my because Bill brought some LPs here. Because on the next show, he asked me, he says, Johnny, how you going to be with the LPs? I got lots to play. And I can't, number one, I can't see, okay, because of the cataracts. Okay, I couldn't see. Some of the 50s LPs, I was able to line it up. I got to work with the headphones. I do have the headphones, but I have to practice because I have the speakers on when the guests are here in the studio. So I'm going to have to shut them down, but I don't want to mess up the... I have to practice with it, and I don't have time to scratch my head. That's what I don't have. So Bill's like, well, Johnny, you're going to have time to practice when I come back to do the next show because there are lots of LP cuts. So I was like, bring 78s, don't bring LPs. But anyway, as we continue here, that was going out to John Cummins. That's Cornelius Harp and the Marcells from March 61 on the Owl label. I featured it. Crazy Bells is the name of the tune. Crazy things here on a Sunday evening. Let us continue. Let's fill a request now for listener Joe Shacatano. Yes, Joe, this was your last request per your list, but Joe sent me a brand new spanking list to pick from. But he requested this group from the Bronx. They recorded 2 on Lou Cicchetti's Cousins label. Cousins, it was a record store in the Bronx that they put out the original release of Barbara Ann by the Regents. I think I played it here on the program, but there were a few releases that they put out, and they put out 2 by this group. They were known as the Camerons, okay? And they, of course, would later, they would also have, wait a minute here. This song was later picked up on Felsted with an alternate title called A Girl I Marry, because this tune is called The Girl I Marry, okay? And this one features Mike DiMartino on lead from September of 1961, going out to listener Joe Shacatano. Here are the Camerons on Cousins with The Girl That I Marry. Here you go, Joe, for you.
The girl that I marry will have to be soft and sweet and as gentle as a baby, as lovely as the birds that sing, as happy as a day in spring, and as bright as a star in the sky. I'll treat her sweet and gentle and be so very true. I'll never make her cry, treat her mean or make her blue. I love her as lovely as the birds that sing, as happy as a day in spring, and as bright as a star in the sky.
Yeah, sounds of 1961 here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Where were you in 61? I was 50. This was September of 61. I just turned 3 years old. And my grandfather, I was the only one of the grandchildren that he saw. He took me, I vaguely remember, he took me to a shoe store to get me those red boots, you know, those red snow boots that you kind of zip up. They're like red, like fireman boots. Well, he took me there to, and he used to take, my grandmother used to work in New York City. She was a seamstress, and she used to make all these, these dresses for like the elite people down there. She was with all these other women there, and she used to take the train into the city. And that's when you think it's like you just walk in on the platform. Well, at that time you had to walk up into the train. Okay, so he would go down and in the Buick, and I remember him taking me there because I remember seeing the green interior of the Buick, and we would wait for her to come out of the train and then go back home. So, it was unfortunate because he would die in March of 61. It's a very sad thing, but anyway. But that's for Joe Shacatano, the Camerons, from September 1961 on the Cousins label. The Girl That I Marry is the name of the tune. Let us continue here. One more from the year 1961. We fill a request now for listener Adrian Viterbo in our YouTube chat room, as he wanted to hear The Impressions. The Impressions on the Swirl record label. Now, Curtis Mayfield is not on lead at this time. He was touring as lead guitarist at the time with Jerry Butler. So the lineup on this release that came out on Swirl was Arthur Brooks, Fred Cash, Sam Gooden, Arthur Brooks, Fred Cash, Sam Gooden, and the lead singer on this, his name is Richard Brooks, and he wrote this tune. This is on the Swirl label, so the group minus Curtis Mayfield. This one came out in December of 1961, going out to Adrian. The Impressions on Swirl. It's called I Need Your Love. Here you go, Adrian, The Impressions.
I need your love.
Sometimes I wonder, do everyone know the meaning of love? For I know love will grow wider, deeper than any sea.
Give me your love, dear. Give me your love, dear. Give me your love, dear.
I just want it right now.
I need your love, dear.
I need your
Love, dear. Need your love, dear.
I just want it right now. Sometimes I'm lonely, sometimes I'm sad, but knowing you love me makes me glad. But when you're lonely, darling, someone is blue. But when you're happy, someone is sad. I want my baby. I need my baby. Gotta have my baby. I just need her right now. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I just need you right now. Come on,
That one there going out to listener Adrian Viterbo in our YouTube chat room. Those are the impressions minus Curtis Mayfield. He was away touring with Jerry Butler, and that was December of '61. Came out on the Swirl record label. I Need Your Love is the name of the tune. That's Richard Brooks on lead. He also wrote the tune. There you go, Adrian, for you. Let's move into 1962 now. This is a B-side of a 45. I forget when I played it. It might have been about a month ago. I featured the intended A-side of this tune by Freddie Dame, a song called Love is a Game. Okay, but wait a minute. It says actually that was the B-side, but that was the side that was played on the radio, I think. But this was supposedly the intended A-side. It's an interesting tune. It's actually a duet. Okay, it features Freddie Dame and Claire Spaltro. Okay, and this is with Bobby's Trailers. The 45 would get picked up by Frank Sinatra's Reprise label because Sinatra put it out on the Reprise record label. And we know when you would be in school, you'd like kind of send a note to your girlfriend. Well, actually, I wouldn't do that. I'd just shout it out. Of course, they would call me out and make me do jumping jacks in the front of the class because they said, don't speak in class, is what they would do. But you'd say, I'm going to meet you after school, so meet me like behind the whatever after school. But anyway, this is from February of 1962. It's Freddie and Claire with Bobby's Trailers. It's on Knick Knack Records. That's the first press. And the song is called, in parentheses, Right. And then it's called After School. Nobody talks about school anymore, but we do here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Here you go.
In school you look around, my heart begins to pound. You drop your history book, and then I still
they saying in that record? Fall in love after school. I don't know about that. I don't know. Kiss me hard and fast. I don't know. Sounds like another movie to me. Anyway, there you go. February 1962. That's Freddie and Claire. That's Freddie Dame and Claire Spaltro, along with Bobby's Trailers on the Knick-Knack label. You can get that also on Reprise. It's Right After School. Now, right after school, I used to get into fisticuffs with some of the guys that would kind of pick on my friends, and I would have to go out there. But sometimes they would never show up. Of course, you can't fight in school because you're going to get suspended. I told you about that. I mean, I started the fight. I shouldn't have done it. And when the principal said, "I'm surprised at you, John," my mother was right there. I said, "Well, he called me a name, and I didn't like it." So he said, "But that doesn't mean you have to start a fight with somebody." I said, "Yes, because I don't want to be called names." Okay, I will start a fight. You can't do that now because, people don't fight fair anymore. You got to I'm talking fisticuffs is what I'm talking. Anyway, Johnny G digresses. Let us continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Fill a request for Tommy Albergo in our YouTube chat room as we go to Chicago now to Bill Ehrman's Witch record label, okay? And this group had 2 releases on the Witch label. The A-sides were normally like novelty up-tempos, okay? But the flip sides were killer ballads, and this is one of them. This is their first on Twitch, okay? The A-side was called Munch. Bust the Bass, did you get the munchies yet? You say that the Vinyl Treasure Show gives you munchies, but that's the name of the song on the flip. But Tommy requested the B-side. The group is called the Aladdins. The Aladdins out of Chicago from April 62 on Witch Records, and the tune is called Please Love Me. Here you go, Tommy, for you, the Aladdins.
Held you tight underneath the pale moonlight. I never thought that anything like this could happen to me, for I love you, can't you see?
Okay, that one there going out to Tommy Albergo in our YouTube chat room. That sounded a little bit like in the beginning, if you remember the 10 Commandments of Love, you know that part of it. That's what caught my ear. But those are the Aladdins on the Witch record label. Their first of two on Witch Records from April 62. Please Love Me is the name of the tune. Busta Bay, Save Me Some Wings. I had my mother made she did a nice dinner tonight. She had like a whole chicken, so she broke off parts of it and she roasted it, and then she made a great chicken soup with those little stars in it and some carrots. It was really, really good. We had a salad, and we had some what else did we have, Ma? I forget. Some acorn squash cut up and some string beans. That was the dinner. Anyway, Johnny G making everybody hungry here as we continue on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in the 1962 block. Let's fill a request for listener Bill Olben, New Jersey. Bill, your show still getting accolades. Bill did a fantastic job here on Thursday afternoon, and he will be back later on this month. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And please, if you want to email, send me, Bill, I still have emails to forward to you from other listeners that have emailed me today listening to the program over the weekend. But anyway, let's fill a request for Bill Obe. This group is from the Bronx, New York. They included Arthur Cryer, Al Cleveland, Harold and Phil Johnson. Collectively, they were known as the Halos. Of course, you may know their 1961 hit, a song called Nag. They also backed up Curtis Lee on Pretty Little Angel Eyes, and the flip side, Gee, How I Wish You Were Here. Two great sides they backed up Curtis Lee on. Here they're doing a cover tune that was first done on Fortune Records by Nathaniel Mayer and the Fabulous Twilights. They did it first in February of 1962. Let's give a listen to this version as done by the Halos 1 month later. Came out in March of 62. This is on the Atlas label. My copy could be a little better. It could, but we'll go with it for Bill Obe, the Halos, and their rendition of the tune, Village of Love. Here you go, Bill, for you.
Why don't you come? Why don't you come? Why don't you come?
Let me take you to the village of love. Let me hold you tight. Let me treat you right. To the village of
Why don't you come? Why don't you come? Why don't you come? Why don't you come? Why don't you come?
Okay, I think that was Arthur Cryer. I think he was the bass of the group. I think he did bass on that, but that is a cover tune. That was originally done by Nathaniel Mayer and the Fabulous, what did I say? I didn't say Flames. I hope I didn't say Flames. Fabulous Twilights on Fortune Records. This is May 62 release by the Halos. The Halos on Atlas Records, their rendition of the tune Village of Love, going out to listener Bill Olben, New Jersey. Let's go to a bonus track from 1962 here. And this singer here was a member of the Creators. You know the Creators that recorded for the Philips record label? They do a great New Year's Eve song called I'll Stay Home for New Year's Eve, if you know that tune. He is the lead singer of that group. They were known as the Creators. They also recorded on the Philips record label. And he also had a solo release here, but the group is backing him up on this. So they just decided to put out the lead singer. His name is George Davis, and this is a bonus track. I like this record. It's a nice ballad from December of 62. Here is George Davis on Philips Records. It's called Out of a Million Girls, a bonus track here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Here you go, George Davis.
Out of a million girls, I had to fall in love with you. You never smile, you never laugh, you never say, dear, let's make romance. Fall in love with you. My heart is sad because of you. What can I say, dear? What can I do? Out of a million girls, I had to fall in love with you. All I wanted was your love, your love. Was I asking too much, too much? Nights I cry to be by your side. For what? I don't know. I'm just a fool who fell in love. What can I say, dear? What can I do? Out of a million girls, I had to fall in love with you.
So, folks, what do you think of Johnny G's bonus tracks? I mean, you see this, a lot of the collectors of the early rhythm and blues vocal groups, they don't know these later records here. I mean, this is why, kind of like I split the show. So, but this show seems to be getting more action than my Saturday night show. But maybe because people are home on, I don't know what it is. But again, you see how listen, we played Dinah Washington yesterday in 1950 at the beginning of the show. Here we are in 1962, George Davis and the Creators, okay, from December 62, release there. Okay, Out of a Million Girls is the name of the tune. I know many of you like Johnny G's selections. That's an expensive 45. I bought that from Jerry Diaz in California. I hope he's doing okay. I heard he was not. But anyway, let us continue here. Let's fill a request for L.A. Arch in our YouTube chat room. He's still looking for this 45. We go to Philadelphia, PA now. For this group, they had one release that came out on Fran Williamson's Impala Records, which is out of Philadelphia. This is actually the intended B-side that Arch requested. This is from April of 1963. We move into 63 now. Here are the Montereys. The Montereys on Impala Records, and going out to L.A. Arch. The song is called So Deep. Here you go, Arch, for you, the Montereys.
So deep am I in love over you. I just don't know what I am going to do. I love you so deep. Deep, deep, deep. How could I know what love would really be until it made a first class fool of me? I love you so deep. Why couldn't your love be as true as mine? You were dishonest most of the time. I fell in love with your sweet talking lines. Deep, 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 deep. So deep am I in love over you. I just don't know what I am going to do. I love you so deep. Deep, 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 deep. Why couldn't your love be as true as mine? You were dishonest most of the time. I fell in love with your sweet talking lines. Deep, 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 deep. So deep am I in love over you. I just don't know what I am going to do. I love you so deep. I love you so deep. I love you so deep.
That one there going out to L.A. Arch in our YouTube chat room. The sound of the Montereys. The Montereys out of Philadelphia from April 1963 on Impala Records. It's called So Deep is the name of the tune. Let us continue here. Here's another bonus track that Johnny G added. Tell me what you think of this record. We go out to California now. We are in the 1963 block. Okay, this one came out on Hunter Hancock's swinging record label. It's a duet, okay? And this is a cool cover tune, okay? This one, I think it was Rochelle. This is Rochelle and the Candles song, I think. Okay, now the duet is Hal and Bobby. And Hal is really Hal Davis, and Bobby, she's really Barbara Jackson. Okay, and Rochelle and the Candles first did this in 1961. Let's give a listen to this version from 1963. Tell me what you think about it. It's a ballad, Hal and Bobby, on the swingin' label, and their rendition of the tune, Once Upon a Time. Hal and Bobby. Here you go. Don't mess up my needle.
Long ago, long ago, long ago, long ago, once upon a time, there was a little girl
We are in the 1963 block there. That is a duet. Hal and Bobby is the duet. That is Hal Davis. He recorded a number of duets with different gals. This gal is Barbara Jackson, 1963 on Hunter Hancock's Swingin' Records out of Hollywood, California. Once Upon a Time, the Rochelle and the Candles tune. As we continue here on a Sunday evening, and we fill a request for Carol Clark. Thank you, Carol, for your email, also telling me that she really enjoyed the Bill Obe Thursday special. As we go to Stamford, Connecticut for this group, and they formed while attending Connecticut High School, well, Stanford High School, I should say. Let's see, the lead singer on this, his name is Jimmy Einar. Now, he would later be known for producing artists like the Bay City Rollers and the Raspberries and Three Dog Night and others. But prior to that, he was singing lead with this group called The Barons. This is their first of two, came out on the Epic record label. This is written and produced by Stan Vincent. This charted number 4 on WHYN in Springfield, Massachusetts. Let's go to March of 1963 now, by request for Carol Clark, The Barons on Epic. It's called Pledge of a Fool. Here you go, Carol, for you, The Barons.
It's a pledge of a fool. It's a pledge of a fool. It's a pledge of a fool.
Johnny G getting caught here at the end of the program here is where I'm getting caught. There you go. That is going out to Carol Clark. The sound of the Barons there, March 1963 on the Epic label. Yes, Big Dave. Excuse me. That is a vinyl stock copy. You can find vinyl stock copies, even of the Dave Clark 5, like on a bunch of their singles. I always single those out. Even there was one pressing plant that was doing it. I mean, I think for this one, though, it is either the promos are vinyl on this, as is, I don't think I've ever seen a styrene copy of this. Now, their second one, Remember Rita, okay, that is a styrene, and also the Concords. I wonder, Should I Cry, the Jackie DeShannon tune, that's also, well, the promos are the way you want it. You don't want the crappy styrenes. Anyway, we're talking about vinyl here on a vinyl show. Let us continue here. Here is a bonus track here. This was, let me see. This was played a lot on WAAT, a station out of Trenton, New Jersey, and it's a cool tune written by Bob Finez. Also arranged it. The group is out of Philadelphia. Now, the lead singer on this, his name is Ernie Spano, and he was from a group called the Fabulous Four that recorded for the Chancer record label and also the Four Evers. The group was called Ernie and the Halos, and this is on the Guidon record label out of Philadelphia. This is a bonus track from March of '63, Ernie and the Halos. It's called The Girl from Across the Sea, Angel Marie, a bonus track by Ernie and the Halos. Here you go. Okay, there you go. That's a bonus track there. L.A. Arch, you like that record, huh? March 1963, Ernie and the Halos is the name of the group. That is Ernie Spano on lead. On the Guidon label, The Girl from Across the Sea. What are you telling me there, Big Dave? What are you saying about the in the parentheses? Yeah, Angel Marie, it says. There you go. Bob Finez on the Guidon record label. Let's do a twin spin on the Guidon record label as we fill a request for listener John Engstrom. Now, last week I featured this gal, Maxine Davis, her second of 5 on the Guidon label. It wasn't last week, it was a week before, I think. It was April 18th. Her rendition of the country tune called Gone. Okay. Let me see. Charlene, who did this side first? Who did this record? This is a country song also. You're saying here a cover of the Smokey Rogers tune. Is this the Smokey Rogers tune, or was Gone the Smokey Rogers tune? I don't know. I don't know my country. Big Dave, okay, who did the song She's Got to Go first? Or might have been He's Got to Go. Might have been the song. Wait. So, Gone was by Ferlin Husky. This song is by Smokey Rogers, right? I think that's how it goes. I got it right. Okay. No? Okay. Anyway, but this is a country tune, okay? But it's sung by a soul singer, okay? And this is for John Engstrom, okay? He's looking for these records. John, is getting harder and harder to find records for you. I have about that many, okay, but I can't play them on the show. And if you got them from a group book, they need to be shot who wrote that book, okay? I'll give you the titles, but they can't be played, okay? They can't be played on the program, okay? Because I can't play those records. But we'll play this one, okay? Because Maxine Davis, she has some great records, but she's trying to sing country here. So we'll see how it goes. This is from May 63 for listener John Engstrom, Maxine Davis on the Guidon label, and her rendition of the tune, She's Got to Go. Here you go, John. This has a little warp in it. Let's hope it goes okay. Here we go.
She's got to go with your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together and all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down. And you can tell your friend there with you, she's got to go. She's got to go. You can say the things I want to hear while you with another girl. Do you want me answer yes or no? And I understand. Whisper to me. Tell me, do you want me to? Or is she holding you the way I do? Though love is blind, make up your mind, and should I hang on? Will you tell her she's gotta go?
Okay, that one there going out to listener John Engstrom. That is the female version of the Jim Reeves tune. This song, Huey Moe produced. Actually, it is here. It was produced by Huey Moe, May 1963. This was her second release on the Guidon label. Maxine Davis, She's Got to Go is the name of the tune. Let us continue here. And we got two more 45s before we sign off here for a Sunday evening. And you all know this group from Staten Island, New York, as we fill a request for listener Tom Shaughnessy in Florida. Okay, the number one song in the week that I was born, September, early September of 1958, was their debut single called Little Star. Okay, as done by the Elegants. Okay, it came out on the Apt record label, but they recorded for so many different labels during their career. This is a real late one by them. Okay, came out in June of 1965. Now, they spelled the name differently. Okay, they spelled their name Elegantes. Elegantes. I don't know if you say it that way, or elegance. I don't know. It's kind of weird with the E there. Anyway, but it features, of course, Vito Pacone on lead. This was recorded at Allegro Studios in New York City. This is for Tommy Shaughnessy in Florida. June 65 release on the Laurie label. Vito Pacone and the Elegants with Wake Up. Here you go, Tommy, for you.
Whoa. See the one who loves you. I wanna be more than a friend to you. I wanna love you your whole life through. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wanna say now, say that you are mine. Come on, baby, give your love to me. Wake up and see the one who loves you. Wake up and see the one who loves you. Chapalapa, 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 chapalapa. I wanna be more than a friend to you. I wanna love you your whole life through. Oh, and I say that you are mine. Come on, baby, give your love to me. Wake up and see the one who loves you. Wake up and see the one who loves you.
Okay, Tom Shaughnessy, there you go. That one there going out to Tom Shaughnessy. No, Bust the Bass. I think that Billy Stewart listened to them and then did his own rendition of that, is what I say. But anyway, there you go. That's Vito Pacone and the Elegantes. I guess that might be how you say it. Elegantes. It's on the Laurie label. I think, what do they have? 2 on the label? That one there from June of 1965 called Wake Up. Well, we're probably waking up those of the UK listeners that come into this program here. They're just waking up at the early hours here. I do get lots of live listenership out of the UK. It shows on my on the analytics on my YouTube page. You give me so much stuff. But anyway, and that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show for a Sunday evening. I want to thank you all for tuning into the program. We had a big show tonight. We had over 1,100 listeners come into the program tonight, so thank you all for that. I hope you would consider subscribing to my YouTube channel to keep these AI these AI rodents away from my program here, especially Vito Picone. I mean, he's a Facebook friend of mine. Now, you're giving me a copyright thing? It's out there on this song, one of the late songs here. But anyway, so again, if you have a request for a future Vinyl Treasure show, email Johnny G at vinyltreasures@aol.com, and I'll get your song. I got so many requests to play on the Soul Show. So, but really, thank you. I bought some records, too. Leonard Mancini, I got to talk to you about some of the records I got. But anyway, so if you have a request, if it fits the program, I saw a bunch of people talking about the Ventures. Now, if I do a show like that, and I have to be careful because on some of those records, it doesn't fit well on this platform, okay? And that would have to be a Thursday afternoon show. It's not going to be my main shows, okay? Wednesday night or Saturday or Sunday, not those days. It'll be a day show if I do. Talking about a rockabilly show with Bill later on in the year. We'll see. We gotta compare certain records and see like top rockabilly records and whatnot for that. But anyway, we'll do specials. Bill's got a soul show set up too, by the way. Okay, and these are records that he requested of me that I don't have. So that is a thrill for Johnny G. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in this evening again. And if this is the first time you're finding out about the program, I'll be back on Wednesday evening. But please subscribe to Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show. Very important to do that. Thank you, Charlene, for your help. Thanks, everyone, for all your emails during the week. And again, I just hope you enjoy this program here. It's a labor of love for your host, Johnny G. We're going to close the show with a flip side. Actually, I made a mistake last week for Jim Lampley in Texas. Sorry about that, Jim. I made a mistake yesterday with the Cozy Eggleston record. I should have played Big Heavy. I did not do that. But maybe we'll do it next week. I messed it up. So I messed this up for you last week also. But we're going to close with this request for Jim Lampley. This group out of Baltimore, Maryland, they were called Little D and the Delighters, and this is on the Little D label, okay, which is out of Baltimore, Maryland. And last week I played what, Charlene? Last week I played the side called On Oh My Darling, which was incorrect. It should have been this side here. Hold on, folks. I apologize for this. Okay, so this is the side that, Jim, you wanted to hear. Okay, tune written and produced by John Watkins, arranged by Joel Wells. I think I said that right, W-E-L-Z. From March 65, Little D and the Delighters, A Love So Fine is the name of the tune on Little D Records for Jim Lampley in Texas. That's going to do it, folks. Thank you all for tuning into the program this evening. I hope to see you next time right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say so long from the Sunday show. I'll see everybody on Wednesday. Take care. Bye.